Asterisk, the morning sun rose over the California coastline, washing the city in gold as luxury cars glided through the busy streets. At the top of a glass tower, the CEO of one of the biggest automotive companies in the world stared out of her office window. Tired, frustrated, and dangerously close to giving up, asterisk, her prized Ferrari, a custom model built overseas, had completely shut down days earlier. It was supposed to be her symbol of success, her escape from stress, her joy. But now it sat silent in her private garage, unable to start. Unable even to diagnose itself, asterisk, she had flown in engineers from across the country, specialists with resumes longer than contracts, experts who bragged about their abilities. They checked the engine. They checked the electronics. They checked the wiring. Each one left defeated. Every report was the same. We've never seen this issue before. Asterisk, it's impossible. Asterisk, it can't be fixed. Asterisk, by the end of the week, the CEO felt completely drained. But her assistant suggested one last option. A small-town mechanic with a reputation for solving problems no one else understood. The CEO almost laughed. How could someone from a dusty garage outside the city fix what elite engineers could not? But desperation pushed aside her pride. She agreed. A few hours later, a pickup truck rumbled quietly into her private garage. A man stepped out wearing worn-out boots, a faded jacket, and a calm expression that didn't seem to belong in a billionaire's world. Asterisk. He introduced himself simply as Mason. Asterisk. She gave him a polite but doubtful nod. Every expert I hired failed, she said. You are my last try. Asterisk, Mason didn't brag. He didn't promise miracles. Asterisk, he just said, let me take a look. Asterisk, he walked around the Ferrari with quiet focus. He didn't rush, didn't panic, didn't show off. He ran his hand along the hood, inspected every line, listened to the silence of the engine like it was speaking a language only he could understand. Asterisk, finally, he sat in the driver's seat. The CEO stood behind him, arms crossed, prepared for disappointment. He turned the key. Nothing. Asterisk, but instead of frustration, his eyes lit up. There's something here, he murmured. He stepped out, opened the hood, and leaned in. Hours passed as he worked in silence. He took apart parts the engineers hadn't dared to touch. He searched deeper than diagnostic tools could reach. He wasn't afraid of getting his hands dirty. Asterisk, the CEO watched him from a distance. For the first time in days, she felt a strange sense of hope. Something about Mason's steady presence, his patience, and his confidence made her believe he might actually succeed. Asterisk, as the sun began to set, Mason wiped his forehead and tightened one last bolt. He turned to her with a small smile. Asterisk, try it now. Asterisk, she raised a brow. Are you sure? Asterisk, he nodded. Go on. Asterisk, she sat in the driver's seat. Her heart pounded as she turned the key. Asterisk, the engine roared to life. Strong, smooth, powerful. The sound echoed through the entire garage like thunder. She gasped, covering her mouth. It's alive. Asterisk, Mason chuckled softly. Your car wasn't broken. It was misunderstood? Asterisk, she stepped out, overwhelmed by relief and astonishment. How did you do that? No one else could figure it out? Asterisk, he raised a shoulder. Sometimes you need to feel the machine, not just read data. It was a rare circuit fault. Something handmade, not factory-made. It needed a human touch. Asterisk, she stared at him, stunned. Engineers with million-dollar equipment couldn't solve it. Yet this man, with only a toolbox and quiet confidence, fixed in one day what others failed to fix in many attempts. Asterisk, the CEO found herself smiling for the first time in what felt like forever. Asterisk, I want to hire you, she said. Name your salary. I want you on my team. But Mason shook his head. I like my simple life. I don't fix cars for money. I fix them because I understand them. Then, with a nod, but I'll always help when needed. Asterisk, she was speechless. Most people would beg for an opportunity like the one she was offering. But this man wasn't like others. He wasn't impressed by titles or wealth. Asterisk, he picked up his tools and prepared to leave. But she stopped him gently. Asterisk, Mason. Before you go, may I ask something? He turned. How did you learn all this? Who taught you? Asterisk, he smiled. The kind of smile shaped by years of quiet practice and long nights under dusty workshop lights. Asterisk, my father, he said. He taught me to listen to machines the way you listen to people. Every car has a story. Yours was trying to tell one. Asterisk, the CEO felt something shift inside her. She had spent her life surrounded by experts, technology, and luxury, but no one had spoken to her with such sincerity and simplicity. Asterisk, he started walking toward his truck, but she called after him. Mason, thank you. You didn't just fix my car. You restored my faith. Asterisk, he tipped his head. Glad I could help. Asterisk, as he drove away, the sound of his truck fading into the distance. The CEO stood beside her roaring Ferrari with a soft smile. She realized that true talent didn't always come from prestigious degrees or polished resumes. Sometimes it came from dusty garages, from people who loved what they did, from hands that worked with heart instead of ego. And she knew one thing for certain in the world of engines and steel. Mason wasn't just a mechanic. He was a miracle worker.